Unique.
Creative.
Exciting.
New.
Independent.
Inspiring. For my passion project, I made an 18th century Rococo gown from scratch.
I built a blanket box with a removable bench cushion that goes on top.
I built a fully functioning PC.
I wrote a short story about depression and grief, raising awareness for suicide.
I made a painting of a red-tailed black cockatoo with a blue hint.
I created an oil painting of an ocean wave.
Doing a passion project is different from other schoolwork because you really get the freedom to decide what you want to do.
And you have to sort it out yourself, so there's a lot more independence involved.
And it's also really interesting to see what everyone else creates because everyone does something completely different.
The best thing about doing my passion project was honestly just the feeling of knowing as I was writing this I was helping people. My story is predominantly about hope, and so my goal is for this to reach all people that are struggling with depression.
So having my granddad as my mentor was really fun because he has workshops underneath his house. I don't think I would have been able to do my project without him.
The hardest thing about my passion project was trying to get everything done on time. I had to leave a lot of time in between sittings to let it fully dry.
Putting the CPU cooler in, because the screws on the back didn't fit in properly.
Probably having to sew all the layers together, so it was really heavy and I was scared the bodice wouldn't hold up all the layers. At the very beginning, my mentor told me it was way too ambitious and that I wouldn't be able to complete it, so I was really scared for myself. So because depression and suicide and grief, they're all such real and raw topics, I did have to be very careful with how I worded things, and that took a lot of time.
At the very end of the build, we tried to power it on, and my PC just went on for 5 seconds and it just turned off. I was like, oh, why is this happening?
So the first and second layers of my box, they joined together totally fine. But then the second and third layer, it just would not fit together.
And I was just writing the end of the story, and I just hit a complete roadblock, a complete blank. No idea what to do, no idea what to write next.
I just felt like I want to give up. I just don't really want to do this anymore. It's too hard.
I told myself I was a failure, that I wasn't gonna do it. And then my mum she was like, you just gotta get back up and you can do it.
So basically, my mentor told me that we should just check all the cables and make sure they're all plugged in. So we went one by one through all the cables, and then finally we found the cable that wasn't connected properly, and clicked the button, and finally it turned on.
I learned a lot doing this project. Because it took me so long, my painting skills naturally improved. So this will really help me with future works that I do.
I'd never really done any sort of sewing project before. I was able to learn how to properly use the right sewing techniques.
Or how to use a drop saw, how to use a screwdriver, how to use wood glue.
Developing characters and how to outline a story and how to edit a book properly, and
all the different types of strokes and backgrounds and what kind of image you want to display.
But I also learned a lot about time management and how to structure a big project like this.
And being able to plan and being able to stick with your plan.
I think doing the passion project has definitely built up my resilience a lot.
It's taught me to keep persevering no matter how big the problem may seem.
You shouldn't give up and you should persist, because in the end you will get there.
And I think that when you make a mistake, it's because you've done something differently. And so the mistake might turn out well and you can continue to do things differently.
When I finished my passion project, I felt so relieved, and I was really happy with myself because I thought it looked so beautiful and detailed. And I was just so amazed at myself as well, just that I completed that when I've never really painted very seriously before. And I was just like, wow, I actually did that.
Oh, I felt so relieved. At the beginning, I wasn't even sure I'd be able to finish it, and I was like, wow, I did that myself.
So like I just shouted like to my whole family, come and see this. And it was all like, the PC was all lit up and it was all working and everything just was finally clicking into place and just like pure joy.
So I went to pick up the book from Officeworks and the cover was on and everything was finished and it was such a good feeling.
I think the moment when the bench cushion had finished drying and I put it on top of my box and it looked really good, I was like, wow, I actually built that. And then all my family and my parents were there and they were telling me how proud they were of me. And then my younger sister came in and she was like, you built that yourself.
My art teacher, she was really, really impressed. And because she has a lot of experience with art, her opinion like really mattered to me. And so when she said, wow, Jess, that's really good, I was just really proud of myself.
My mum had some friends over and then she was like, oh, my daughter did this, and she just was showing it off. And they were like, you're only in year 8 though.
Like all of my friends and family were like, didn't know how I even did it, like, because it's such a like complex build to do, like build a computer.
My mum took a picture and sent it to all her friends and family, and they were just all like, oh my gosh, Jessie, that's so amazing.
Doing this project by myself made me feel really more confident in what I can do.
I don't need others to like guide me through everything. It's such a good feeling because like, it's like growing up.
Well, you learn something about yourself as well, like what extent can you really go to?
And you really learn how strong you are and how much you're capable of.
I felt really good about myself and that I could do anything.